Hey everybody, it's Cyborg, and I'm back with Temp, and we are here for Injustice Year 2, Issue 2. So let's jump into this, as these episodes are a little bit shorter because we only have 2 chapters, but let's tackle this one. So we start off in OA, or OA, or however you say that, things and stuff. We start off in O, and I did want to mention that the planet for the Green Lantern Corps is funny because when they give the planet description of the Green Lantern Corps, all it says is home to the Green Lantern Corps and whatever else it put on there, which is noticeably nicer of a description than Apocalypse gets. It's like floating
it was like a
hell.
spinning ball of burning hell.
Yeah, something like that. Versus just, hey, this is a nice little planet. All right. So there's a good degree of variety there. I wonder which place the Griswolds are going to go for the next vacation. I also had here that I like how many bad things come from Earth in they're kind of discussing things, and they said there's disturbances they're sensing, and like from space and from Earth especially, and they're talking about the bad things that happen, and I like how they said specifically a lot of bad things come from Earth. I was just like, that's fitting. It makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably something the comic fan has noticed throughout the decades. It's hard to ignore the fact that a lot of other centers of the universe don't get nearly as much violent attention as Earth does.
Yeah. I just like the idea of humans being this just awful thing, whereas in other planets you don't get that. Anyways.
Yeah, there's definitely a trend.
So they're talking about it. Guy Gardner comes in and they make mention of how Kyle Rayner's missing. He was heading back to Earth, and all of a sudden his ring transponder or whatever locator thingy, mudjig, I don't know, just disappeared off of their tracking thing. There's a lot of things and stuff, and a lot of doodads and whatnots.
Yeah.
Whatchamacallits. But yeah, so then we have Guy Gardner get with the task to go to Earth to see what's going on. So we leave off with him, and Guy Gardner's kind of more of the jock of the Green Lantern Corps, if you don't know who he is. And so he's reluctant to go, but then he's like, okay, I'll do it. I'll do it, all right? Just back off. And then we go to Hal, and he's flying a jet. He almost crashes, but then he doesn't crash because he has his ring on. And then they make mention of how, I guess, he usually doesn't fly with his ring, but now he does because he's paranoid, because the government tried to kill Superman. Anything can happen, and Ollie died, and this and that and the other thing.
Which we know is not actually the case, but that's what Green Lantern says, though.
Yeah. He's on the edge of his seat now. He's freaking out, man. He's scared.
That's a really good description, though. I think it's funny when you say it out loud, but I think that is apt. I think that is absolutely what is happening with the character.
Yeah. Anybody could be next. So then we have... I like when... So then we have Hal conversing with Superman about going to... Like, what was that meeting they're doing? It was like a judge, the law was being passed and voted
Congress,
on. Yeah, it was like a Congress
thing.
They
were trying to shut down the U.S. government.
And Superman was supposed to show up, I guess, but he was reluctant to do so. I specifically put note on here that he says to Hal, "They tried to kill me, Hal." Says Superman, the guy who brutally slaughtered his friend Green Arrow. And he's like offended because the government tried to kill him. They tried to kill me, Hal. What do you expect? Meanwhile, on top of the... Meanwhile, he just smashed his friend's face into the pavement where there's probably no face left to be had. He outed his friend. Secret identity. He crippled some kid that looked up to him.
Yeah, and that was early on, too, before the stakes really started to raise up. So, yeah.
He tore Martha, his own mother's leg off. No, that didn't happen.
No, I was like, did that happen?
You missed that chapter.
I was thinking hard. I was like, did that... Well, I mean, it could have... I can see it.
Quan Chi and everything. Just... Anyways. But no, that didn't happen. But yeah, no, I just thought that was funny that he said that, because this guy is pretty brutal and relentless at this point. But yeah. So he sends Hal in the Flash to do his bidding while he tends to Wonder Woman, who's still knocked out and in somewhat of a comatose state. Or in coma or whatever. She's still healing and getting medical attention. They don't know if she's going to wake up or if at all or what's going on. So that's kind of where we leave off with that chapter. Is they Flash and Green Lantern go to Congress. And then we have Fate looking like a badass.
Yeah, he does look really good. The panel where he's like, we see a side view of him.
Yeah.
And it's just the cape and the mask looks really good.
Premiere, not a premiere skin, I bet, though, because he's got to be in the game. Anyways.
Yeah, if I were you, I'd be a little worried about Fate, because if he's in the game, he's probably not going to look anything like this.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. But, I mean, he doesn't need... I mean, I know Superman doesn't need armor either.
Dude,
come on.
They did not... They pulled up all the stops with Superman. Like, all the fucking stops, dude.
I really hope they keep Fate minimal. At most, at his base, at his core, I hope it's just, like... I can accept... Like, where it's normally blue, like the blue cloth, I can accept that being, like, plated with, like, lines and the stuff that they're almost guaranteed to do. Just don't mess with... Like, don't give them big shoulder pads or huge, like, you know... Keep it.
Watch him be like the biggest one of all, dude. He's like double the size of Atrocitus.
Damn it. Stop it. Don't bring that bad juju onto him. No, he needs to be sleek with his cape and his little, like the collar and all that.
Yeah, I agree.
Needs that, and he needs the awesome helmet. Nothing else added to the helmet. I don't want to see a bunch of weirdness. I mean, it's fine if he has gear for options and stuff and added armor that way, but yeah, at his base and at his core, I hope they keep it simple.
Well, Blue Beetle was fairly faithful, but the thing is, the things that got wrong with Blue Beetle were just like the form itself. Like, sure. He's a little too... He looks like a 35-year-old man. That's the only problem with Blue Beetle. Everything else looks fine.
And then we move on, and Batman receives a call from the president, but it's rerouted to Oracle. And we saw Black Canary in the background as well. And Oracle's taking up the reins while Batman is out of commission. And she talks to the president. Well, at Congress, it looks like we have Flash and Hal bullying them into passing. They just outright close the doors and say, no, you're not leaving until you pass this.
Yeah, well, I think that's what I got as well, but I'm not quite clear what they passed. Did you get that?
No, I don't think they really elaborated. It was like something sector hootenanny, something like that. I don't know. I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah, I don't know either.
But yeah, and they bullied them in, and then after they bullied Congress into passing, then they let them go, which I thought, man, I know Flash and Hal have pretty much just stood by and let all these terrible things happen, and then they've gotten their hands dirty as well, a little bit. Not nearly to the point of like a Wonder Woman or Superman, but I thought this was like, now they're just bullying Congress into like doing things in their favor. That's not so good.
Yeah, the things that Green Lantern and the Flash have done are things that could be rationalized. You can't rationalize beating fucking Green Arrow into pulp. You can't.
Yeah,
really
they're still redeemable. Yeah, they're certainly redeemable. They haven't done anything that they can't, like, it's not like they, like you said, killed people or given out secret identities or anything like that. But then we go back to the Watchtower, actually, and Sinestro shows up to the Watchtower, and immediately Superman's freaking out. Oh, why is Sinestro here? Oh, no! Go protect Wonder Woman! Get Diana! He says that. It's probably that tone. I mean, obviously we're reading off paper, but I'm guessing that's what his tone is. All of a sudden he zooms around, flies Sinestro into like a nearby moon or something, and Sinestro's mustache is going all crazy, like, and then he says, look, I'm not here to fight you, which he tried to say initially, but Superman being Superman, which you can't really blame him in this case. It is Sinestro. It's not like his best friend showing up or anything, but so that one, at least, that's understandable why Superman would want to punch his face into a moon. but yeah, then Sinestro finally, says, hey, I'm not trying to fight you. I'm just here to warn you that they're coming for you. They're coming to kill you. They're going to get you. They're coming for you, Barbara. Anyways. But yeah, so he passes along that message, and then Superman's like, thanks for the information, and that's where we leave it off. And then, yeah, Guy Gardner eventually makes it to Earth and says something about how Earth went to crap and all that without him having even to do anything. So he's kind of talking to Hal.
Yeah, it ends on kind of a grim note, because the final line is one of the Guardians saying, "Take me to Superman."
Yes. Take me to Superman. But yeah, that was the issue. Not too eventful, but we're still moving forward here. We're setting up the pieces, so to speak. I'm sure it's building towards something, but we have Batman still out of commission.
Oh, yeah.
We have Flash and Hal still doing some dirty work. We have Guy Gardner in the mix now. And what's going to happen with Wonder Woman? Will she make it? I don't know.
Dun dun dun.
But yeah, so that does it for this issue. Not too eventful. One of the lighter ones of the bunch. Not lighter in tone.
It's some exciting stuff.
Yeah.
I really can't wait to see how Hal Jordan's going to react when he finds out that Sinestro's going to set up a desk next to his desk.
Right.
That's going to be a lot of fun for me.
Or when Hal eventually, it's got to happen, where he eventually finds out that Sinestro's killed Kyle.
Yeah, oh my god.
Because they'll probably work together a little bit, but yeah, once he finds that out, which they wouldn't have had Sinestro do it unless they're planting seeds for one of the Green Lanterns to find out and defect from Superman's team because of that. So
it'd be crazy, like from a storytelling standpoint, if he finds out and he just takes it like a bitch, and you see the rest of the issues, Green Lantern is just this broken soul.
Yeah,
like God, because that. Oof, yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, we had some good stuff. I can't wait to see Fate in some action. So at least we got to see him this time. So yeah, good stuff. We'll see you for issue 3 tomorrow, everyone, and take care.
Later, everybody.